What is going on, guys? It's AJ here, aka KaoS Revy. We've got quite an interesting video for you today. We're going to be interviewing the lads from the Battlefield 5 T4 team as they prepare for their playoffs match this weekend. So we're going to get straight into it with the first question being your thoughts on the start of the season to where you're at now with the playoffs. How do you guys think you've improved so far?
I'll go, boys. Don't worry. I'll talk about strats. You know, well, first of all, I think
what strats?
What strats? Yeah, we don't do strats. No, I think from the start of the season, there's been quite a few changes in sort of structure and stuff. I think Rebel was playing Scout at the start, and so was Speed. He's now on RX. I'm not even sure if he's playing now, actually. But
I think he plays every now and then.
Does he? Okay. Well, and then we've obviously got Berg as our scout. So even in just terms of personnel, it's been quite different throughout the season, I think. But obviously, it's evolution of just reps in and stuff, isn't it? So we just try to play as much as we can, obviously, without trying to trash talk too much. People are playing dodgeball, so it's just it's difficult to get scrims in sometimes.
Always straight into the dodgeball shit.
We're straight into the dodgeball, bro. But it's, you know, I think just getting better as a team has been the main focus, just chemistry and understanding each other's gameplay and styles and stuff. So yeah.
So,
well, I mean,
go on, Robert.
I was gonna say it's been pretty wild, to be honest. Like, so when ESP first announced it, our roster was me, Jimmy, Paaz, Asya, Speed. Do we have anyone else? Am I missing? Ryan, obviously.
Yeah, Ryan. We played with Ash and Kitty, and
yeah, we've gone through a lot of different people.
And just obviously the roster now.
Changes and shit.
You've got just if you list the roster now, who's in the main lineup and
yeah. So it's me, Jim, Paaz, Berg is like the starting four, and then we got Naxo and Ryan to sub in when people can't. But the season's been crazy. So we nicked Berg from Tribe early on in the season, so he wasn't eligible for the first 2 weeks. So we had to play me, Scout, and then I think Ryan played Assault for all the games.
Yeah.
So this core four haven't actually played much together in actual ESB matches. I think I might be wrong, but obviously scrims and stuff.
Not as much as other teams.
It's been a few games at this point, right? I mean, I even could play the RX match in the second week because it got postponed because of server issues. You remember? So I ended up actually playing 11,
I was also
11
games.
2 weeks. So
true. I think it's probably more than me actually.
So my next question coming in is, what's been your favourite match? Obviously this will go for each individual, so we'll start off with Jimmy first. Your favourite match is against any certain team?
I think any match which I play better than Paaz in is my favourite. It's satisfying to beat such a good player, you know. But no, on a serious one, I think mainly for us, because I don't think this is being mean in saying that I think PLG and us are the best two teams by quite a while. So any game against them is always more intense and more meaningful than any other game, I think, really. But we've had some really good games against Raid as well. I probably stole someone else's discussion there, but no, we've had good games with them where we've gone, you know, full sectors and gone for 40 kills each and stuff. It's been a bit mad. So yeah, a lot of good games. But I think PLG for me is the team to sort of focus on and enjoy games against.
PLG for you. So next one, what about you, Rubber Switch? Who's been your favourite team to play against?
Well, obviously the PLG ones are pretty good because there's a lot of weight to them, and it's like playing at the highest level. Like both teams playing really well, so they're fun. But it's got to be like the most recent one where we played against TMP. Well, I got to play support because that class is busted. Like straight busted.
What do you mean?
And I just got to KD farm the whole time, so that was really fun. Just FG and Brent spam.
What do you mean by busted?
I can laser people across the map. Okay. There's not even gunfights. Like I have a hit scan gun. Yeah, I have 20 bullets. Who cares, bro? There's only 4 people.
True that.
So obviously moving on to Paaz. Paaz, what's been your favourite matchup so far?
I mean, a lot of games was good, even the raid ones, but the PLG one was better because it was more important, like more important for even for us, because we didn't get the chance to play them a lot because, like we said, they're playing dodgeball. So when we play them, so it's like, oh, we need to be good, you know. So the last one was very good because it was very, very, very close. And other than that, we're having fun every games. Even on last team in the division, we always having fun. So
I thought he would have said raid for his montage, his when he's on fire.
I do clips every week. I could do a montage every day. I will not do it. Jimmy will probably be mad about that, but that's okay. We're gonna be gone. Don't want to talk about that.
And finally, same question for Berg, Skeptical Milk. What's been your favourite matchup so far?
Well, for me, I think it doesn't really come down that much to the opponent. I mean, it does to a degree, of course. I mean, it's always more enjoyable in a way to. I mean, no disrespect to the weaker teams, but I think it's less fun for both sides. If it's a rather one-sided story. I think the same even when also was true for our first PLG match where we actually got fucking smoked. So that wasn't a very fun experience either, despite it was we got one sector exactly. So that's one thing to consider. So generally, I mean, if it's a close matchup, then it's always a good game. For example, this one game that we played against RX, where we actually only got a draw, where we actually played kind of bad team play. It was still like enjoyable in the way that it was very intense. And and I mean, we actually, I mean, is rather lucky almost that we actually got away with this one map win. I mean, we full hold him in the last one. And for me as sniper, it's always also dependent on map choice, because I enjoy playing sniper, as in with a bolt action sniper rifle, much more than playing PO8. So if we get the more bigger maps, I tend to have more fun playing than on the smaller maps, generally speaking. Yeah. But that's also one thing to consider for me.
Yeah. So obviously the big, I want to say congratulations to you guys, obviously, on making the playoffs. You've actually took it by storm, pretty much. I think you and PLG have really took it by storm. How's you feeling about tomorrow's opposition? You've got obviously RX. The first time you played them, I believe it was you won the first one early on the season, and then the second one you took a draw to RX, if I'm correct. Mm-hmm. So just basically how you guys feeling about tomorrow? You pumped up? You a little bit worried about anything at all, or are you feeling quite confident?
Well, we've not scrimmed in about 2 weeks, so I have no idea how good we're going to be. No one wants to play us, so we might be good. Who knows? I mean, we know we can beat them. We've beaten them before, but they're also a very good team. So if we don't play to our full potential, they can definitely beat us. So we got.
They got better to start the season, because on the start,
really good now.
They couldn't know who was going to play which class. Now they just found out now. But I mean,
their roles were
still take a draw. We still take a draw when we was playing without Rubber, because Naxo was playing. So it's gonna be different for sure. And now I got a PS5. Let's go.
No way we lose.
I mean, it's definitely wrong to underestimate them, as the other said already. And again, they got better. I still think if we play our game well, then we should beat them. But again, like we saw, when we had that draw, we saw what happens if we don't play on top of our game. Then we can lose maps against them, and that's not what we want happening. So we need to be ready, and if everything goes well, we're gonna beat them. But we'll see.
Their lineup is scary at the moment.
We can't make mistakes.
Yeah, like now, I don't know how it took them so long to get Smiley onto medic. Like, it literally took them the whole season to put him on medic. Like, that's by far his best role. Yeah, like they're messing around with him, like support and assault. Like, I don't know.
It
seems like they've got it sorted now, so they're definitely going to be hard to beat.
I feel like Smiley can play better with assault.
I mean, he's better at assault or medic than support. I don't know why he was on support. That was just baffling. That was. Yeah. But like the guy said, like I know, and I think a few of us have been in like semi-finals or whatever, where you're just expected to win, and it's just like a formality. So like, again, no disrespect, but like for Kane season 1, like they're a very good team, but they were like overachieving that season and stuff. We thought we were going to win, and we did. It was quite comfortable. And then this season, it's not really one of those semis. It feels like we have to actually turn up and actually beat this team legit, and put them away, and just to make sure that we get to the final. So it's a good match.
I think I don't know, somebody already said this, but not today. Like when people play against PLG, like they already start, with a mindset that they're gonna lose. Like they already start defeated, So a lot of players just, they just play for themselves. Maybe they just don't believe to win. So I mean, if we can have good mentality before the match, because we already did. Like in the last match, we lost by 6 seconds. Like, I mean, the map was just a blow for
Heartbreaker.
me. What?
Did you guys all know at the time? Obviously, I was watching the stream, and we'd found out directly there that it was
I
6
knew it.
seconds, or was it?
When we lost, I watched the timing and I said, I think we lost by 10 seconds or even more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
really
it's not.
said it.
I think we knew, but we were affected by it. We didn't go like our mood didn't go down or anything.
Yeah.
But it was.
Yeah,
just,
I was watching the timer for all the third sector. I was always calling out the minute because like we wiped them 3 times. But PLG is good for like, they're not like they're getting wiped once, but there is always one guy trying to hide somewhere to get spawn, and they're kind of lucky to be fair, and they just won by 6 seconds.
Yeah, but I think they make their own luck though, like with how they play. Like I don't know if that makes sense, but if they're consistently doing it, then it's obviously they're doing something right. But you are definitely right with the mindset thing though.
Yeah, what I was saying, like, I mean. For me, even when we played them, like in the first side, maybe I just feel some pressure, but not a lot. But I don't think they do the same, Like right now, maybe it's different because we almost beat them, But
they must have been a bit shit. Like, that's the closest anyone's got to beating them.
Yeah, that's why, So they need to be more, they need to play better, so they feel the pressure even more than us. Not even more, but I think they're gonna play like us in the same mindset. Because they're gonna be scared. I'm not scared, but like they need to watch out. Because
it's probably honestly, like they're probably feeling the same way about us and RX. If that makes sense, like they probably think they're the better team, and they just need to make sure they don't choke. Like it's probably pretty similar.
Yeah.
So before preparing for a match, then do you guys have a set strategy, or do you adapt to each team that you're playing, or so basically when you're obviously playing them, do you say you go certain routes or try certain things, or is it basically you treat every team different and try obviously set strats for that specific game?
I think our main focus really is always been from the start that this team is made to beat PLG basically. So we play every team with the mindset of pretending as if it's going to be a Maxic, a Geordie, a Saint, those kind of guys who are going to be playing against you. So it's like against like lesser skilled teams, you can't take it easy because you know that you can win a gunfight when you need to, when you can't necessarily guarantee that against PLG. So it's I think it's all about map focus as well. Like we're constantly talking about map sectors and specific things where we get stuck and where we have issues, or which bits we're good at and stuff, and all the minor details and stuff. I think are all generally centered around beating PLG in the final. So that's
a lesson we learned early on. Yeah. I think. Was so we play against these like lesser seeded teams, like lower seeded teams, and we can win by literally just rocking up and just outgunning everyone and just dropping like mad numbers and just winning by that way. Whereas against a team like PLG or even like RX, you have to play properly and not be sloppy. So we learned early on to like make sure we're really good with our practice to not mess up for the big games.
So obviously the other semi-finalists, you've got PLG and you've got Raid. Now, obviously your opinions on that, is just going to be a straight wipe, is it? Or do you think Raid may stand any form of chance with it being in the playoff semis? Do you think they have the chance of stepping up? Or
I mean, the last time they played, like from their match, like it was before our first match versus PLG on the like the first time we faced them, they were training up against Raid Black, and they almost got all on Devastation, and they were playing seriously. Like Raid are not bad players.
I'm really high on Raid. I think Raid is sick.
But we all know that PLG is first on the division, so if they play like they always do, they will probably win. But they will not be easy, for sure.
Yeah, like Raid have definitely like played them close before. And I'm confident they can actually win. Like, it's not like it's a 0% chance. But they've not played like in scrims they get close. But I think PLG in scrims and then PLG when they're all just like switched on and in tournament mode is very different. Like,
sometimes when we played like raid, sometimes like they were hard to beat, and sometimes we literally like. Remember when on the underground in the scrim we got 4 sectors in like 5 minutes? We literally run every sector. Like sometimes you just see, sometimes they get very good. Like when Nikov is getting those kills with FG, is a good player. Even when Beam player is playing good with the sniper.
Beam player can carry that team so hard. And even like Dede and like Dede is really good as well. I think he's really underrated. In terms of gun skill, I think he's actually quite good.
He was an all-star, bro. Sorry, Buck.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to what Paaz said before. I mean, I like Raid will be going into this game with the mindset that they're going to lose 100%.
That's what I was gonna say.
There's no doubt. And I mean, yeah, we saw that they can play close to them. But I mean, yeah, as Jim said, as Robert said, I mean, when PLG is in tournament mode, I mean, Raid will probably, they can maybe hold some sectors. Even they can maybe also push a few, but most likely they will not win. And it's not disrespect. I mean, it's not a what's it called? Like, you're not bad if you lose to PLG. It's just So yeah.
Like, I remember talking to Nick, and he was like, "We always play them close in scrims, but we can never do well in tournaments or whatever." And I think it has to be going into it thinking you're going to lose, and not playing to your full potential. Like, it has to be. It's the only explanation.
So
I'll say, I think you need to give props to Raid I mean, they were a team that came from like playing pretty much exclusively like German internal kind of things, like local leagues and stuff. And they just turned up in, I think it's actually their second ESB season. I think they played one before, but in T5. But still, like that, they just come up like that, and then they beat other international teams like that, and can play on the top level. Like they can play with they can play on a level with RX. They can play on a level with us at times as well. They can play on a level with PLG at times. So yeah, it's really I'm very surprised that they are doing so well, but it's amazing for them. So,
yeah, they should be happy with what they've done already. No matter how the playoffs go. Obviously, if they can get third, they should be. I think they're playing for third place this tournament. Like if they can get top 3, that's a really big.
They played RX, they won 2-0, but now RX are better and won 2-0 against Raid.
I think they played recently though. The games were close. I watched them back, and like it was like
if Raid play good, they can beat
a lot of sectors.
They can beat them for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So how have you guys found balancing obviously your training and obviously all these matches that come up each week? How have you found that obviously with balancing it with your personal lives, for instance work, uni, day-to-day life and stuff like that? Has there been anything challenging where you've struggled to get people on and tried to run through strats or anything like that, or is it pretty much straightforward, it's not as bad?
I mean, we didn't have any struggle because like the season is on pandemic situation. Like in Italy, I'm talking about Italy. We could not get out of home because of the COVID. So I was always home for for most of the time. But even if we didn't have enough people, we just can't find people that wanna play us. Like in the last 3 weeks, we literally can't find scrims. Even talking about PLG directly, like they prefer to play like T5 or T6. I don't know why, but. And that's all. Like we were not struggling because even when we tried to set up a scrim, we were always us four always ready to play every hour.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like that's the beauty of having like a small roster, is that, or it's like a small game mode, so you don't need a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm pretty big on like having a starting lineup that play every time. Like I know a lot of teams like to rotate players in and out, but I'm of the philosophy where like you have to earn your spot in the starting lineup. And that means that when we do actually get practice, it's always us four if we're on.
Yeah.
And like that means like the quality of practice is like really good for us instead of some teams like. So me and Jim play for Laferno.
Yeah.
They have like 20 members, I think, something like that. And they just have different lineups every single game, and that's good. Like if you're just there to play. But I think if you really want to get better, you want the same people playing every time because it's much better practice.
Yeah.
Even because T4 is like it's not a mode, you just need gun skill. Like PLG play, exactly. Even you guys, like I'm the only one who only played this season only. Like you remember in the start when we were screaming, even PLG, like we screamed them a lot in the start, and I didn't know anything about the games and I was playing bad. But now, you know, you just need to, if you train a lot the mode, you know where you can get killed from. Because in the start, I was literally, I didn't know what to do, anything. I was planning B first, if you remember.
I think every team's done that though. Like literally every for the first time in Rush, they always plant B. Like every time.
Jokes.
So obviously with the T4 as well, would you prefer it if it was more members, like a T5, a T6 sort of game mode, or are you happy with the T4?
Yeah, no,
I think
T4.
T4's great.
100%, yeah.
T4.
It's been the best game size this whole time. Like we used to obviously play at the start of the game, like 2 years ago. It was like T8 mainly, and that was the main game mode. But and that definitely has its like perks and stuff, you know, with tanks and a bit of like you know, rotational stuff like a Aras classic sort of games versus like 1-up and stuff. But it's I don't know. I think C4 is the closest that this game's come to a proper competitive mode.
Yeah, in terms of like actual competitiveness and like a game mode that rewards like strategy and teamwork rather than just gun skill, I think T4 is like the best, no question.
We've all said like going back to T5 is such a big sort of drop in brain level and stuff, because it's just, you don't have to think at all. You can literally just run around in a circle and just kill things. And it just ends, you know, who can zerg the best with their medics wins the game, and it's just not nearly as tactical as T4, which isn't, you know, insanely tactical. It's just you've got to think a little bit.
Yeah, but there's like there's fundamentals though, right? Like,
Yeah,
you have to play the game a certain way, otherwise you're gonna get farmed.
Especially on defense, you can make mistakes. If you make one mistake in defense, you pretty much lost the bomb, because everyone knows where the beacon are gonna be. So like they're gonna expect you to spawn, and if you play teams like PLG, they got 2 kills and they run straight to bomb. Like they're not gonna wait, like maybe other teams do.
No, I agree. Yeah. Plus, I think the 4 class thing is very interesting as well. I think that's so good. Like having to have one of each class is like just a unique thing to Battlefield that not a lot of other FPSs have, and it's really good to like play through that. I think it's a really good like opportunity.
That's a good point, yeah. Because the squad sizes are so weird, like the whole time. Obviously, so T5 obviously you'd have to have 3 or 2. It's really clunky. I don't know, and I don't know. The game's so buggy sometimes that you switch.
T4. That's a good point. Like T4 feels so natural.
Yeah.
Whereas T5 feels like you're forcing like a game mode.
Yeah.
That's not very good, if that makes sense. Like you can tell it's got flaws and shit.
Yeah.
But I think T4 is fundamentally just like
even the
a lot
spawns,
better.
like T5 is a game mode where you can spawn kill people. I don't think like that's a competitive mode. Like you can watch a spawn and one shot people. Like that's not fun.
So the next question is going to be individual questions. So I'll start off with Jimmy. So how did you get into the competitive scene? How did you get into competitive gaming? Which was your first game you started off on?
I used to play COD since, well, the first COD when I was like, I've asked my mum this question actually because I'm a loser. So apparently I started playing when I was 3.
What a gamer!
What a gamer!
Imagine playing for 20 years and still being bad.
Bro, came out the womb with a M&K in my hands. And, it's so Call of Duty Finest Hour all the way to the current ones, but I sort of stopped on Infinite Warfare mainly. That was actually one of my favourite ones, even though no one likes it. I used to just play Jetpack COD with my scuff and stuff, and then I think I played Battlefield 1 because I liked the trailer. Because why not? It looked pretty cool to me.
The music was pretty good as well, yeah.
It was a good trailer. Yeah, like the classic, trailer music. And then I started playing just operations with my friend, and eventually Tribe Aim Raiser Dom from Tribe messaged me and joined their team. Started playing T5s at the end of the game, life in BF1, and yeah, just sort of eventually got to a point where Tribe was contesting for a few leagues and stuff, BMF and BCL. So yeah, it was interesting. And then obviously you sort of move teams around, try and get into a really competitive team, and you end up going through Tribe to PLG to Odyssey to KaoS now. So it's a bit of a journey, but got there in the end.
Missed out Underage Andes, didn't you? That was one of the big teams.
Yeah. What a name! They were so good.
What a squad!
Yeah.
Next one's for you, Rubber. So how did you get into your competitive gaming?
So BF4 was when I started. like properly comp. Like when I got on my first team was BF4, and I was scouted in a public game playing the attack Kelly by Timberwolves, who's the leader of Venom. For those who don't know, like the founder of Venom.
Yeah.
So I got in there, and then we played like a really randy, like P24, I think, against KaoS, like old school KaoS. And I was farming in the heli, and then Wheat and AJ and that got me in. And then I played most of BF4 with KaoS, all sorts of different game modes, and then we went inactive. I didn't play BF1 because that game sucks, and I didn't want to put any time into it. And then I joined Venom for BF5 again. Been playing for 2 years now, I think. BF5's been out. Obviously got into T5s with Odyssey, which was a god squad. Me, Ash, Jobs, Jimmy, Geordie. We walked so PLG could run. Yeah, and then I took another break, and then I came back for T4, really. Got KaoS back up, and now we're here with the boys.
Jeez.
Same question for you, Paaz. How did you get into competitive gaming?
This is a long story. Okay. I mean, no, it's pretty short to be fair. Like my friend got me playing on BF3, but the game was already so dead. Like it was only, I mean, BF4 was already out. Then I buy my PS4 and BF4 was already there. So then I started playing BF1. I joined Buffalo. It was the best Italian team, but everything was already dead, even on BF1. Talking about tournaments, the only real thing I played on BF1 was Incursions. It was a good mode for me. We were not bad. But then our team just stopped playing, and then BF5 came out. I didn't play all the T8 because I didn't have the game. Because I had issues, I was not playing PS4, and then I started playing maybe 2 months before private service came out, and I was playing with Buffalo. I was playing every day, the Buffalo Scream versus PLG. We played them a lot. I was making montage every video, even when Jimmy was every day we was playing Scream. It was pretty good, to be fair. But then we just stopped playing because Italian players and competitive are, they're not good together. And then when Buffalo stopped playing, I was not playing the game. Then I joined Exceed, and we played Season 1 for ESB. We lost to PLG, unluckily. And then I stopped. I didn't play Season 2, Season 3. I just played some publics, one time maybe a month. I didn't play a lot, and then I just came back for T4 because Robert was begging me in private, please come, I need somebody and
Please carry me, I need you.
Sounds like rubber switch. Lassie for Berg as well.
Well, my story started similar to Robert's. I also got recruited by Timber. Back in 2014, right. I think it was, in BF4, and but for me it wasn't. My recruitment story was even better. I didn't get recruited through a pop. He literally was scanning scoreboards.
Yeah, but I was about to say
he was scanning KD leaderboards, and I was somewhere on that, on the, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, my KD wasn't even that high. I was probably on a, I don't know, spot 2,000 something, but for whatever reason he managed to go all the way through there. I don't know. So yeah, that's where it started, and I stuck with Venom for for the whole time, unless of course they were inactive, and in which case I played with GB at times in BF1 and in BF5 as well. That is for the bigger modes, and in BF4 I only played small amount of smaller modes with some other people that are long gone and inactive, and but in BF1 I played in the Incursion season and also in T5 in the first ESB season, and then BF5 we had had a kind of a tough first season in T5. Half our team went inactive halfway in the season, which was not ideal, and we just stuck through, finished it. Then I took a little break for season 2, and yeah, now I'm back here. Played for Tribe before.
I forgot we all played for Tribe. That was a bit of a fever dream, wasn't it?
I was what?
I forgot we all played for Tribe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we actually. I completely forgot about that. We got third place, I think there. Yeah,
we got second or third.
Oh no, we got second place. True.
Yeah, we played.
How do you guys forget this?
Rip. Oh yeah, true. We actually did.
We won the first gunfight on Lofferton against PLG, and then we were like, oh my god, and then
we won all the gunfights. Everybody was so hyped, and then they just started like being fully concentrated, and then they just fucking smoked us.
And
so, yeah, but anyway, and now I'm here. So yeah, that's it.
So the next one was obviously for you all guys as well. So what are your long-term goals with esports? Are you guys generally playing for fun, or are you playing in hopes of obviously Battlefield getting more taken off, and possibly LAN events for the console scene? What's your guys' thoughts? Start off with Jimmy.
I mean, LAN events would be really cool. I don't know. I think Berg's the only one here that's experienced a LAN event. At least for Battlefield, obviously the BF1 one.
Yeah.
But that'd be a dream come true in like a nerdy kind of way of just like actually competing in the same place on LAN. Like there's no excuses, best team wins. No MMK, no cheating, no anything. Like that's
same connection.
Paaz wouldn't have a Paaz connection. He would have a PS5. Stars would align and stuff. But
everyone in the same console. Yeah, that's so good.
Imagine.
That'd be the dream, innit? If Battlefield took off, like that'd be great. Yeah. I can't really see myself getting into another esport though. Like maybe because I put so much time into Battlefield that I don't think I could ever put the same amount of time into another series again.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It's even things like YouTube and stuff. Like I don't know, people only know people for Battlefield. Like if Maxeek started playing, the next COD a lot. It's not the same. I don't know. I'm really hoping BF6 would be a really big game, and it would actually expand the.
Yeah, I mean, if BF6 takes off and there's comp support, then that's it.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to switch to PC if it took off, but I wouldn't switch esports. I don't think. I think I'd say Battlefield 2 on this, for me at least, just because of the time thing.
Yeah. So obviously with Battlefield 5 at the minute, is there anything you'd like to keep or change going into Battlefield 6? Is there anything?
Mate, throw it in a fucking bin, get it and set it on fire, start from scratch, get it out of here.
It's not all that bad. There's good incentives in certain parts. I think.
I think the only problem about the maps. That's all. I think the map is the problem about the F5 because
the maps are all boring.
On every mode,
they're too big.
I don't think the problem is the maps, to be honest. The problem is the maps just seem bad because the visibility is shit. And the visibility is shit because of the character, like the way the character customization works. Like before, that's actually something that I feel like they should bring back. I know it goes against everything that modern game design goes for or strives for. Like especially with having competitors like COD around that have character customization, which is absolutely massive and it earns them a shit ton of money. So obviously they try to copy that. The problem was this time around that first of all in Battlefield you have classes, and in BF5 is the first Battlefield game, at least to my knowledge, that has indistinguishable classes. I mean, there's certain things you can do to kind of figure out stuff. For example, LMGs are being held like shotguns, like on the lower waist for whatever reason, stuff like that. So you can kind of make it out what class it probably is, but I mean, in previous games, you could look one time at a soldier for half a second and you would know which class it was, and that's something that should come back, I think, for that very reason, and as well to actually improve the quality of the textures, which actually is the reason why they stuck out so much better in previous games, and now. It's just all blurs together with all the background stuff. That's why
we all rocked 4 Hannah skins, right?
Yep.
We all run the exact same skins, so it's quite hard to distinguish who's who.
Yep. Same skin, different classes, different paces.
You can only tell from the guns. That's it.
We should run the same gun skins as well. I just realised.
Yeah, I mean, don't know about that one. But...
In before somebody actually confuses a ZK and a Gewehr 95, like a sniper.
Yeah, maybe.
Of course. Yes.
I was gonna say my like things that need to be in the next game is no manual leaning.
Oh,
Get that.
Oh, I completely forgot about that. True.
Get that shit out of it. I don't know why it's in the game. Like auto leaning is fine, and I don't think the developers even realize how big of a problem the leaning is. So it might be in the next game, but from a competitive like point of view, leaning just it breaks the game.
Mhm.
Like it actually just breaks the game. You can make a head glitch out of nowhere. Like you're not rewarded for playing aggressive in this game, which is so stupid for me. But to be fair, I like the gun skill in this game, or the like gunplay. Sorry, like I think the TTK is amazing in this game. The guns are kind of boring. I think like all the medic guns are the same, and all like
They should put like the ability of the next game, to put, like
yeah.
before attachments on the gun, because
yeah,
I mean it was pretty good
get
before.
rid of specializations. They suck.
Yeah,
Give it
choosing
back.
like before, like or a compensator, no compensator, like stab B, anything like that. Like that was good on BF4. Even BF3, not like BF4, but you could still do it. Like I don't know why you need to this specialization. Like they're so useless. Like not useless, but that's bad for the. I mean, we always have to remember that they don't do the game for us, like for the competitive, because I don't think they even know who's playing competitive. They just play because they want people to sell it, so they're just focusing on like making the roofs, destructive instead of making good maps for us. I mean, that's a good point, because if you see Call of Duty, they make updates because pro player ask that. Like, it's not. If we ask DICE, they're not gonna even respond us. Like, that's the point.
I mean, there's a lot of things wrong with this game. To be honest,
Yeah.
like it was broken from the start because of the whole like not listening to feedback groups and all that sort of stuff. Like we could be talking about this for an hour. To be honest.
Speaking of COD, I mean, I think their support is really not that great for the comps, despite it being that fucking massive.
True.
Like they regularly put out patches like days before a major tournament. It's like why you do this?
They don't always
Like,
play on them though. To be fair, but
Huh?
I get what you mean. Like they play on the old patches, but
not.
I
mean,
I do
it,
agree
it,
that they're.
it happened multiple
Well,
times
well.
that they had to adjust last minute, and it's just like, why would you do that? I mean, just postpone it 1 week. It's not that big of a deal.
Well, it's even like did you hear like
So-
they play so they like at the start of the season they all played on like 30 hertz servers for scrims and stuff, and then they played
Yeah.
60 hertz servers for the matches.
Yeah.
And like basically, for people who don't know what the hertz is, it's like basically the connection to the server. So like 60 hertz servers are like crack cocaine. They're amazing. Like your hit rate is really good, but it just means that like certain guns are better on 60 hertz than 30 hertz. If that makes sense. So like the meta gets thrown out of whack again.
Yep.
But I mean, I'd love to be in a situation where we can complain about the servers that
Sure.
DICE are given to us instead of I can't see the guy.
Yeah.
You know,
Just want to add at the end
private
as a
servers and release.
slightly different take on it. In BF6, I hope you don't ban everything in the game too much, because BF5's really suffered from a very, very strong, like, if you die from it, you have to ban it next game sort of thing, and it's just a bit too extensive. Obviously, some things you don't want in comp, like MMGs and shotguns, but after that, I think banning some random stuff like firecrackers and all that kind of stuff, it's just a bit over the top. It doesn't impact the game at all. People don't, I think I'm a big fan of natural rule sets if you can, and eliminate the extremes and
Well,
stuff.
I just think you ban stuff that breaks the game, like that breaks how the game is meant to be played. Like, for example, the SFs that broke the game because assaults were better than medics up close,
Yeah.
right? And I'm trying to think, like 3 times at the start of the game also broke it because everyone would just camp at the back of the map, even though it's not that big of a deal now. But back then, it was like when everyone was using SCG 3 times, they would just sit at the back of the map. There's nothing you can do. And
Wait,
that broke the game. Smoke grenades break the game.
I just want to
yeah.
talk with the guy who did the Devastation TDM. Who think the Devastation TDM was not Devastation. How was it called?
Twisted Steel.
Yeah, I want to talk with the guy that talked that like Twisted Steel TDM was a great idea. Like, hello. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the
who
point,
agreed with
like,
him? Who was like, let's do this, and other guys like, yeah, that's a sick idea. Yeah, let's do it out in the middle of the field.
we can talk here for hours. What would be good, but guys would never listen, even to the biggest community in Battlefield, because they just, I don't know what they're listening to. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So the next question is basically your overall thoughts on the ESB League, how far it's progressed from obviously previous games, stuff like that. It seems like the production's come a lot higher. Obviously with the casting and all stuff like that now. What's your guys' take on it? How far it's come? I'll start with Jimmy first.
Yeah, Robert, shut up.
I'll just say it's great. I mean, I'm done. I was done.
He's over. No, you're right. Like the production's really high at this point. I think I've said multiple times that we don't really deserve it as a community. I think there's a lot of almost like toxicity and taking things for granted to an extent. And I think there's been so many leagues that have come and gone. Shout out BWL that have put a lot of effort into promoting this side of competitive in Battlefield, which is obviously a very small part of the game. And I don't think players really take enough applaud that enough in general. And I think ESB is an example of a league which has carried on through a lot of Battlefield games.
They've been around for years, haven't they?
They've been around for ages, and
7 years or something.
And they've always done a good job at promoting and getting linked in with developers and influencers and stuff. So I think just keep doing what they're doing, and they'll be good in BF6 as well.
They've done also a good job, obviously, with the sponsors coming in as well, and for this tournament. And obviously, it's gone quite well at the minute. Hopefully, the next one's even bigger. But yeah, your thoughts on it, Rubber?
I mean, I just think so. ESP has been like a staple in the scene for years, right? They're like always the league that is at the top, and they have been for as long as I can remember. But the thing that's impressed me this season is just the production value has stepped up so much. Like, I guess it's because they've got sponsors, so they can actually spend money on. I'm not sure. Although I'm not quite sure if they're like just sponsoring the prizes or if they're actually sponsoring the broadcast or whatever. But the production value is insane. Like, especially this playoffs, I'm pretty sure people are going to be very impressed with what they have planned and stuff.
Mm-hmm. There's a studio and stuff. Like
exactly. Like, we're getting listenings. I'm not sure if we're allowed to leak, but there's like interviews going on.
Already leaked, no problem.
Well, nice one.
Well, no, because I'm thinking they're probably going to release it before this comes out.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. Also, the cast has done a great job. I think the only complaint with the comparsers is there's not enough. Wild seems to be doing it all.
Yeah.
It's okay. When me and Jim retire, we're going to be the new cast and Jim.
Yeah, boy.
Be sick. So, yeah, I'm just really impressed. So, props to them. Hopefully they can do more.
What about yourself, Paaz? What's your thoughts on the ESB League? How it's gone so far?
Paaz.
I'm good with the casters because they're watching me a lot of times.
I know what you're saying.
They're making me make like good videos. So thank you, Wild. No, sorry, thank you. Wild. He's Wild.
No complaints about them.
No complaints about Jim or anything.
Yeah, here we go.
Nothing.
No.
Oh, okay, bro, he said this like
he's
10
backing
times
out now
in party chat. Also, shout out to Lycan as well. We haven't even mentioned.
I'll just say it. Right, so basically, Paaz isn't very happy that Jim gets over-recognised in streams, like Jim and Geordie.
Yeah.
So someone could get a 3-piece. So there's a couple examples where, like, I don't know, me or Paaz kill 2 guys and get a 3rd guy like really weak, and then Jim kills him. Jim gets the kill, and the cast are like, lovely stuff there from Jim. And, he does like 20 damage.
Yeah, then
Paaz gets a bit jealous, bless him. He's a very jealous person.
Yeah, then Wild understood. We asked to watch, and they did it like the raid game. Like, the whole fucking chat was doing, oh my god, this guy is cracked. Yeah, that's the point.
Oh, yeah. Paz loved that.
Lastly, same question for Berg as well. Just your thoughts on the ESB League, the way it's gone so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's come a long way, I guess. It's weird to me, like the way that it steps up and when it steps up. I mean, it's probably because I, lack the insight into their business or like what they have planned and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just because, I mean, just like the LAN that they made happen in, what was that, October 2019, I think. It also just came out of nowhere, pretty much. Or I mean, I think for most it just came out of nowhere. And actually, when we were there, we were all feeling a bit weird because we're part of a scene that, I mean, I would say literally no one cares about except for the players that are in it. I mean, let's be honest here.
True. Yeah, no one cares. No one knows about it.
And then we had this kind of production quality. I mean, they made shots of us like this how's it called? Like
Or like the team shots.
whole cinematics,
the
bro.
team shot, but also the personal ones. You know, like these little intros that they have in CODs where they do like a pose or something.
Yeah,
They did
yeah,
decent
yeah.
stuff with us as well.
Fold
I
your
don't think
arm.
they used it much. Yeah, exactly, stuff like
Look
that.
mean.
So we did all that stuff, you know, and it was like, what the fuck? Why the fuck am I important, you know? So yeah, but nah, it just makes no sense, you know, in that way. And now they kind of did the same thing with this league again, because like, you know, before it was just like, you know, going on a little bit, you know, season 3 was there, season 2 was there. There was like no prizes. It was, I mean, ESB is always the gold standard for, at least for me, in terms of recognition for a win. But but still, like, they just came out of nowhere with this season and just like, oh, we have all these prizes, we have this production quality, we have
It was
we have
literally out of nowhere.
studio
right?
where we cast stuff, and it's like, okay, I mean, I appreciate it, right? But it's what Jim said, you know. I don't know, you know, like, we don't deserve it, really.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just a bunch of people that have fun playing a game. So.
That's part of like the big like macro thing they're trying to do, which is just legitimize Battlefield Esports, right? Like that's like their main goal, is to make it like a more mainstream thing, to get more viewership in. Which you have to applaud them for, like stuff like, well, the production quality for the playoffs in the season, but also stuff like, you know, tracking the stats and stuff.
Yep.
I think this is very, very good. Well done, Juice.
They're a bit behind on that one.
Yeah, they're late. Yeah, I was going.
Yeah, but no one cares.
Well, okay,
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, but it's because
There's
I'm
enough up
first.
there.
Check
That's
it
why.
every day, bro.
It's because I'm first. That's why.
No.
Yeah.
I checked the other day, and they're like on game 6 out of 14. So it's like,
Yeah,
But like outside of looking in, like
it's a bit
Yeah.
delayed. But yeah.
If you want to talk about like even when we play games.
No, but I
like,
mean, they did that in previous seasons as well, and they did it well there as well. So I have no doubt that it will come and everything. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
that
I was
important either, but
I was
yeah,
with Prince
just-
about that, like the start, and he said, "Yeah, we don't have many people to do this because there's a
Yeah.
lot of like even when we're playing, somebody makes 2 kills. There's already a clip on Twitter. Somebody's clipping the stream. Like, I mean, that's not hard, but it's still you're losing time.
yeah, fair.
So this next question is going to be quite an interesting one. So my question is going to be to each individual of you as well. If you can't choose yourself, who would you think deserves the MVP for the ESB League? Starting off with you, Jimmy.
Oh no. Well, obviously, I would like to say it's got to be one of the 2 teams that goes to the final. So probably either PLG or us. That's obviously to cut a long story short. And you know, I mean, it's probably have to be Paaz, as much as it hurts me to say. He's been a very good player this season, and yeah, if it's
I'm crying.
yeah. See, I made him cry on stream on a podcast. So yeah, no, probably Paaz. If I had to choose one.
Rubber Switch, who's your MVP this season?
It's really hard, isn't it? Because like, what is like the MVP? Like, 'cause if you're talking about statistically, it's probably Paaz, right? Like,
Yeah.
Paaz probably has like the best stats.
Yeah.
But
It's
then
bad, I know,
you
I
can't
know.
ignore people like Jordy and Saint as well, who've been absolutely pounding this season. But I think they're carrying PLG so hard this season that you have to consider them. But then, like, I think Jimmy and Paaz have also been pounding equally as good. So it's a tough one. I can't really pick, to be honest.
It's for the
I
regular
agree.
season.
I agree with Jim. Yeah, I agree with Jim. That has to be either us or PLG. I don't think you can make a case for
Nah.
another player.
Yeah.
Maybe like I can say like someone from Raid, but I think it has to be someone from us.
Rubber loves Bean player, bro. I thought you were gonna say Bean player.
Mate, Beam players.
Rubber's gay for
Honestly.
Bean player, bro.
And after he went,
The amount of times he's hit me like sliding, bro.
I can't even say he needs to be MVP. After he went 2-22, it was a scream.
Yeah,
but
no, I don't think he should be. But...
And same one for Paaz.
Yeah, so
Oh,
my
sorry,
final answer
sorry,
is
Robert.
it's I think on any given day it's either Saint, Jordy, Jim, Paaz for me. Any of those 4.
Yeah.
I wouldn't complain with.
And same one for you, Paaz.
like the MVP is like the most valuable player, you know? So it's not gonna be only
Yeah,
the
is it?
stats, but
Fine.
like for the what?
Don't worry.
Go ahead.
For the last like the first season, like Jordi got the MVP, and he was on the fourth team. Like Stranger Weekend, he got fourth, if I'm not wrong. And
We got
Jordi
third,
was
I think.
no. They lost on forfeit the third place final by on low. Yeah, you guys like don't play the
What?
third
We
place
lost?
final. Yeah.
Fuck me, really?
I don't
Yeah.
think you guys played it, so yeah.
Oh, we
Yeah,
didn't play it.
and-
Oh yeah, maybe we
Forfeit,
didn't.
yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe. I don't know.
And Jordi got the MVP because he was first in the stats, and he got Stranger Weekends to play off. So like, if you follow this this logic, except for me because I'm first, Jimmy should be the MVP because he's second. Okay, but I think like other than stats, like even a player from the last team, like maybe not from the last because, like even a player from Raid, that like we can take Nico for example. Like, if a player make such a good play, like defending the bomb with 4 kills on the last sector, like you need to give the props to that play because it's a good play, and that's what makes a player valuable. So you can take the prize for it. Like talking about PLG guys, yeah, of course, one of them could win that, but like I said before, like they always play. They all they played season 3, season 4. They all for good players. Like I don't think one guy is carrying. Like maybe when we played them, Saint was playing really good.
Jordy kind of carried him on Mercury last time we played. Like it was actually just Jordy that won them. But yeah, I get what you're
but
saying.
I mean,
That was
but
one.
if
That was one
Jordi,
game, right?
yeah, but I mean one side. But if Jordi is running through us, like. It's because Maxik is covering, because Jobs is leaning on a corner getting some kills, because Saint is leaning somewhere. Like it's always from the team. Like I can get 40 kills, but I'm not playing alone. There's always a team behind me, and if that team is PLG, I mean, it's the best. Like of course you're gonna go good, you know. And Jordi is a good player for sure. So my last answer is me, of course. No, the gym.
Last one just for Berg as well. Who's your ESB MVP?
I think we should probably consider as well how the playoffs is going to be, because I think that's obviously it's the most important thing.
Doesn't count the playoffs.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay, but I mean, an MVP decision is not just by numbers, so it's always also has something to do with impressions. And if the playoffs are gone, then there will be impressions from the playoffs, undoubtedly. You can't just filter that out somehow.
I knew that.
But anyway, like as of right now, I mean, yeah, it boils down to the same 4 players that others already said, like Chim, Paaz, Jordi, and Saint. But without trying to be a trader, I think it has to be Jordi, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly,
Jordi's
I think he's the favorite for it.
Jordi just has something that very few players have, because he's not just he doesn't just have good aim. He doesn't just crack quick or something. But he can also make the plays. He can also be smart. He has like a bit of everything, and that is, I think, what makes him so strong. And of course, it would probably be a little bit boring because I think he already has. Did he already win 2 MVPs or only 1? I don't know.
No, season 1.
Only the 1. Okay. Yeah, in that way, it would be boring that they get a second one. But I mean, if it's deserved,
Definitely deserved it.
So yeah.
The thing I find with Jordi is that he's just always in the right place. Like you never ever catch him out of position, which I think is his biggest strength. Like obviously he has good aim, but it's not like way better than other people. But it's just his positioning and like game knowledge that I think.
Oh, that's absolutely the
really
thing.
good.
Like he's like a slippery fish or something. He's always like gliding out of your hands when you try to kill him. He's always like somehow getting out of everything. So yeah, it's it's very annoying to play against.
But I also want to say that I think this like the whole MVP discussion is also like fundamentally flawed because there's so many like non-tangible things that go players' impact on the team.
Yeah, that's what I want to say.
Because you can't like the stats and like watching them, you can't tell who's coming the best and who's leading or who's doing like the utility stuff because that never gets picked up on camera or whatever.
And that's why you need to add.
And that's why like everyone will never get it. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't measure that, so that's just like an asterisk to put on it. But But yeah,
Thing like, I mean, there's just no way to pick that up in the first
Yeah,
place. I guess we just stick
exactly.
to what we have. So
And the classes as well. Like if you're a scout player, there's no way you're going to get MVP.
I would like
ever.
to see maybe
At
you
least
can
not in
maybe
terms of
see like
numbers,
you can maybe see like a minor award for like role star or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
But
the best person in each
I
role.
think they
That
are
could be
doing
quite
that.
cool.
Or somebody
sure.
said they will do that.
Oh,
Or
will they?
maybe not.
Oh,
I don't know.
that'd be so cool.
At least it was a proposition. I think Charlie proposed that to Reduce. I don't know if he will follow through with it, but
Oh
think
yeah, I
it was
remember
a
that.
proposition here somehow.
I think the players know who the best players are at the end of the day in terms of being on a team with them. Like Robert said, I don't think Rob will ever win an individual award. That's just because of the role.
Cheers,
he
Jim.
plays. No, because I think you naturally take like the team leader position, and it's just like
Yeah, I know.
that usually means sacrificing and calling out and stuff. And I've led teams before on Tribe and stuff, and it's just really difficult
It's so hard to focus.
on your gameplay and to also focus on everyone else's positioning and tactics and mood and all that stuff. So it's it depends a lot on loads of different variables, I think.
So moving away from obviously the competitive scene, just some of the games that I'll start off with Jimmy first. What are the games you enjoy playing outside of Battlefield? It can be any games.
Oh wow! I mean, I'm
Really
a true gamer, So I could play a load of different things. I've played like one of my all-time favorite games is Skyrim. I've sank so many hours into that, just messing around, like shouting people off mountains and stuff. It's a good laugh.
Definite Dragon.
Yeah, like it's just there's so many different games I could play. I used to play competitive, well, semi-competitive Minecraft when I was a kid as well.
The Minecraft is going to competitive mode.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
bro, I'm so good with the bow and arrow, bro. I'll beam anyone. Like
I can destroy you whenever you want.
1v1 lava bucket, bro.
So yeah. Honestly, it doesn't really matter what game it is. I'm not a big fan of like really tactical shooters like Rainbow. I'm not a massive fan of. I don't know why. I feel like it's a bit too slow and a bit too realistic to the point where it gets a bit boring. Like if I wanted to be super realistic, I would go to like a paintball range or an airsoft range and
Join the army.
join the army, get on my belly and crawl through a muddy field and stuff. But
Laning behind
bro, yeah, leaning an actual tree in real life. But honestly, so many different games but I think mainly I play PS4 games and PlayStation games. So I'm not a big PC guy. I'm not a big like handheld phone guy or anything like the Fortnite players or anything. So yeah.
What about you, Rubber? What's your games other than competitive?
Oh, again, I mean, recently I've only been playing Battlefield because of playoffs and stuff. But I play all sorts. So Overwatch is what I'm really into at the moment. Love that game. Me and Alpha from PLG been playing that quite a bit. But I also had like when I wasn't playing Battlefield, I sunk like 2 years into a game called Smite, which is like third-person League of Legends sort of thing. And I actually got really good at that game. I was no, not really. But there was like a console league which was like supported by the like by the developers and stuff, so it was like quite good. And obviously I knew people that were in there, so I was decent. But yeah, I just play just Battlefield really. I don't really game that much, but it's normally just FPSs. I tell you what game I have been playing is that Enlisted game. That game is so good. I don't know if you guys know what it is.
I've heard about it. I've heard little bits about it. Yeah, but not played it.
It's like first person War Thunder where you run around like it's literally like Milsim, but I just go around and crack, just like quick scope people.
I've seen that. Oh yeah, that was on your Twitter, wasn't it?
Yeah, so like all the fucking Milsim dancers running around like cornering mud. I'm just bunny hopping and quick scope everything.
but you're aware that like most people that you engage in there, or most like
bots,
yeah, no, they're not. Yeah, they're basically bots because you're always running around with your squad. So. And your squad mates are just like standing around in the middle of nowhere for no reason. So
like... there's also a player only one, which is also quite fun.
Oh, there is? Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's like a like 15v15 or something. Player one.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't play a lot.
Same question for you, Paaz. What's your favourite games you like to play outside of Battlefield?
I just play FPS because I think single player games are so boring, so I just play with people so we can have fun together. I don't want to play like Smite, like that's gay games. and
Don't get on us.
It's 2021 Paaz.
joking.
It's fun.
He's
It's
gonna
like,
get
it's-
cancelled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not gonna. I just play FPS.
Let people enjoy.
Warzone, Call of Duty. Like before, I played Season 4. I was playing like GBs, but like right now with a PS4, you can do anything against PC players on Call of Duty. So I just play for fun.
So that goes, obviously, the Minecraft KaoS team then. Never mind.
Oh shit.
And lastly for Berg as well, what's your favourite games you enjoy playing?
I enjoyed the Hitman series for single player, so I played that quite a bit.
They just
I play a
released it.
variety. Like, I mean, I played a variety of single player games, but I mean, obviously, I don't like stick to any of them. Like, I'm not playing like an RPG or anything, and then sink lots of hours into it. I just play some story games at times, and then after a few hours, they're done. So But I guess it's mainly that, and actually, I played Minecraft on PC as well for quite a bit.
I love that.
Mate, to be fair, I
So-
love Minecraft. So
Yeah, actually,
it's
there
it's
actually
crack
sunk
cocaine
quite
to
a.
me, mate. It's so good.
I actually spent quite a lot of hours in that as well, and some Rocket League back in the day, but I quit that as well. Unfortunately, but that was also very fun. So yeah.
So my last question for tonight is obviously going back to Battlefield. Is there any tips you can give any newcomers looking to get started in the Battlefield scene? So obviously competitive wise. Start off with you, Jimmy.
So I'll do a two-part answer to that. For a casual player, you want to change your settings almost instantly as soon as you get into the game. The default settings are incredibly bad. I can't believe they're actually in the game, to be honest. So FOV, for example, number 1 is just insane. Camera shake, audio, everything's bad about the default settings. So you want to, search for, esports legends like myself or something and get their settings instead. And then secondly, if you're a competitive player, I think mainly just, honestly, the people who play this game the most and sweat the most, play pubs, play every scrim, put the most effort in. There's not really a shortcut to that because you learn all the spots, learn all the tricks, learn the meta and stuff. So honestly, just play as hard as you can. That's what I think most of us have done, is just sweat the game as much as you possibly can in the time that you're given, because this game's going to be gone in no time. So you've just got to make the best out of every game and every scrim and stuff, and learn as much as you can, and you'll get good eventually. People always recognize effort and talent and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
And Europe Switch, what's your thoughts?
So I'll do a similar answer to Jim. For beginners, I agree with the settings. Like, I'm not sure why DICE would spend so much time developing a game, making it look really nice, and then giving people 50 FOV. It doesn't really make sense to me. But for like casual players, first things first is like finding a good setting for you, like sensitivity wise, and then also finding content creators and like copying their play and stuff. Like every other game I played, I think that's how you get better, is just watching. At least when you're new to a game that's been established. Maybe when a game first comes out, you've got to figure it out by yourself. But I think just watching and learning, picking up on habits, what like the good players do, is really good. I suppose that's similar to the competitive player as well. Just watch people that are better than you, watch frag movies, watch streams, figure out what they do, and then there's no magic pill that make you good, right? There's no secret answer. You just need to put time in. You need to just grind up pickups, grind up pubs. You need to get reps in with your team, get used to a competitive environment, and don't dodge as well. It's quite important. If you want to get better, play people that are better than you. Like everyone's been curb stomped before. When I first started comp, you lost all the time.
Yeah.
But you just need to put your ego at the door if you want to get better in comp, and then just work your way up. It's pretty similar. It's a boring answer, but that's how I think you get better.
And yourself, Paaz, what's your thoughts? Any tips you can give any newcomers to the game that are trying to get into the comp scene?
1, don't dodge. 2, watch my videos. 3, watch my streams.
I was 99% certain you were going to say watch my montage. I almost got to the joke before you because I didn't want to. I knew you were going to say that.
4, just like Jimmy said, change your settings because default ones are so bad, and just play the game a lot because like for example, PLG are the players who played the game since day one. Literally everyone played since day one, and that shows why they're better. I mean, they're not better only because they play every day. I mean, they're good players, but I think they're the only ones who really played the game. The only team, maybe low, but PLG literally played the game since first season, never stopped, and consistent, and they literally play every day, and they're good. So just play the game a lot. That's all, and watch my videos.
Yeah, like talent will only get you so far. There's only a couple players that literally get carried by talent. But it's about just putting the work in, like to add on to Paaz's saying. In my opinion.
And lastly for Berg, obviously Berg plays in sort of different sort of role to you guys, obviously being the recon of the team as well. Is there any like tips you can give, obviously as a recon player and just as a player in general, to obviously newcomers to the team looking to get into the comp scene?
Well, I don't. I mean, I also played other classes and stuff. Like, I mean, I play a little bit of everything, but I mean, except for what all the others already said before, of course, which I fully agree on. Maybe, yeah. Okay, let's also agree on the stuff that Paaz said. But generally, I think it's important that when you first start out, is that normally you get into the scene with, like if you even start to pursue it, you normally have some sort of confidence in your ability. Most of the time, not all of the people, but and I think it's important to be open about, like, to accept that you're probably not as good as you think you are, and that also applies to most people that are still playing in the scene, and it's because that is also where all the jealousy comes from, and the accusations and all this kind of stuff. And if you really want to get better, it's not gonna help if you just blame like your own shortcomings on like he's lagging, he's using a Chronos Max, all this kind of stupid stuff. So I mean, I'm not sure if this is something that you really can learn. Maybe it's just a competitive mindset in a way. But I mean, that is one of the things. And one more thing I thought about just before is that that is Battlefield specific. That whenever you get into any BF community, like competitive servers, just don't expect to be helped by anyone, because people in the competitive servers are like the people that it's not even that, like, it's not even the people are all like unhelpful, but the people that will respond to you are most likely unhelpful. So if you want to if you want to get started, then first find some other people that that are like-minded, and then if you are better than them or whatever, you will automatically find your ways through being spotted by other teams and so on. It will develop automatically. But don't try to get like into an ESB server and ask for a team, because it's not gonna work most likely. So yeah.
No, I think Berg has articulated what I want, like one of my points, like way better, which is like leaving the ego at the door. You need to realize where you could improve and like target those areas. Don't just blame everything on like stuff you can't control. Yeah. Like Paaz always does with his connection and PS4 and stuff. Like he's always like, oh, this guy's got a PS5. But if you like actually look at your gameplay, like what you could do different, that'll get you really far, I think. Especially like when you get into comp. Like obviously if you're new to the game, literally. All those videos at Clickbait with like the top 10 guns and how to improve your KD, like those videos are actually pretty good advice for new players. So I would recommend those. But for a comp player, it's just record your own games, watch what you could do better, take feedback in a like constructive way, and that's just how you get better, in my opinion.
One more thing that people, I find normally people kind of misunderstand is they go into to go onto channels of these YouTubers, they watch the settings videos, and then they take them all, like they copy them, and they try to copy their play style and everything. And the problem is that, like, if you want to be as good as these players, like if you watch these videos and you try to copy him, you're not just gonna get as good as him. The thing is that these things that he does, and even though he does a lot of these like explaining videos now, I think as well, which are helpful to a degree, but the problem is that if you want to be as effective as him, these things need to come naturally. You cannot make these decisions consciously. Like most of the things that these people do, and when they analyze their own gameplay, a lot of these things are not conscious decisions. They just come naturally, and that just comes by practice. And people normally think, well, I just need to be concentrated. I just need to do this in that situation. I just need to learn these things. And to a degree, yes, but it needs to be absolutely automatic at that point. Otherwise, it's not going to help much in the game. So, yeah, that's one more thing.
So that's the last question I have for you guys. Thanks for giving us your time, and thanks to the people watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, be sure to like and comment below if you'd like to see more content like this. Thanks again to Jimmy, Rubber, Paaz and Berg. Good luck with your weekend. See you all next time, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, catch you later.
Thank you. Bye bye.